every champion explained. Starting off with the most appealing one to mid ladder, the Golden Knight. For 4 elixir, you get this big handsome guy who's quite arrogant and he has amazing health but pretty mediocre damage. His ability for 1 elixir, he will start chaining around targets, dealing up to 360 damage and having a range of 5.5 tiles. He can chain up to 10 targets, by the way. This makes him effective against swarms, but terrible against mini tanks and any single unit, because his dash would be pretty ineffective. He's about to get a major rework that will make him dash backwards. So if he dashes on, for example, an archer, and there's another one behind, he will dash on the one behind. This should make him effective against swarms. And yes, as I said, he has nice hit points, but mediocre damage, pretty much that of a Princess Tower, which is of course already quite terrible. Now, moving on to a better one, the Skeleton King. Also 4 elixir, you get a 2,300 hit points tanky fella that deals nice damage, up to 200, and area damage. And whenever something dies in the arena, whether it's his side or the opponent, he will have his ability upgraded. And for his ability, for 2 elixir, he spawns a mini graveyard around himself that, as I said, the more dead units while he's alive, the better the ability. Like, you will spawn more skeletons. The thing is that these skeletons are cloned, so it will not work with the recent evolved witch that heals herself whenever a skeleton dies. So you can use the ability when everything is locked onto him, so the skeletons wouldn't die so fast. And yes, you can use them with a mini spell, so you can quickly take out any swarm. Now, moving on to the Royal Crypt, Arena 17. Right here, you will find the only two champion girls and a big guy with very nasty feet. For 4 elixir again, you get a big chunky miner with up to 2,250 hit points. And the main gimmick right here is that his drill will deal upscaling damage in 3 sequences. At max sequence, he will start dealing amazing damage. Think of it as an Inferno Dragon, but that hits melee. For his ability 1 elixir, he will basically switch to the other lane while dropping a bomb that quickly explodes. It's symmetrical, by the way, so if he's close to the vertical axis of the arena, he will just spawn somewhere near it. So yeah, you can use this guy to as an amazing tank counter, and the ability just only in worst case scenarios, like here a lot of swarms. And yeah, that's pretty much it for the Mighty Miner. Now let's get to some girls. For 5 elixir, you get this iconic Clash of Clans hero that boasts 1,000 health and deals 200 damage. She's pretty much a tanky archer, has nothing extraordinary about her attack. But the extraordinary thing is her ability. For 1 elixir, you get a 180% damage boost. The hit speed will be pretty much tripled, and she will have amazing DPS. And the ability lasts 3.5 seconds. You can use it so you can counter tanks or swarms. You basically deny your opponent's defense. She's mostly used in Royal Hogs Earthquake decks because she supports those Royal Hogs pretty effectively. And most people quickly rush while using the ability. It's just that whenever she locks onto something, they quickly activate the ability. You should use it only in the worst case scenarios. She's not that easy to use, by the way. Now you have the Boss Bandit, a very overpowered champion, yes, the most expensive one at 6 elixir. What's up with these thighs? So for 6 elixir, you get a big tanky bandit with 2,800 hit points, and that dashes like a normal bandit, but deals damage similar to Fireball. For her ability, she will dash back at 1 elixir at 6 tiles. But the thing is, her ability doesn't have a cooldown. When she falls below half health, she will automatically charge the ability. You can use a technique that Abdod calls Shadow Dash. Basically, before she dashes, you use the ability so that she will hit and then immediately teleport back, so the other enemy troop will not have enough time to respond, especially if it's melee. Yep, she's quite annoying and counters a lot of cards, and her health makes her pretty annoying. She's still broken as of now. She's not used in Bridge Spam, no, she doesn't replace the Bandit. Moving on to the last champions, we'll begin with the Monk. For 5 Elixir, you get a big, another tanky guy, it's always the tanky fellas. And his thing is, he has a combo hit. He does 1, 2, 3. The third hit pushes back, and does amazing pushback. Probably more than the log itself. And with a nice hit speed, yet decent damage. As you can guess, you can use him to counter mini tanks or tanks again. And for his ability, which only costs 1 elixir, he will start meditating while having an 80% damage reduction shield, making him almost invincible. And any projectile he receives meanwhile will be reflected. So if he receives a fireball, it will come back to the tower. If he receives arrows, part of them will come back for some reason. And if any ranged troop hits him in general, the projectile will be reflected. And yeah. Sure. You can use this guy to help your win condition, soak up damage, especially with the 80% damage reduction shield. Now you have the Little Prince, the cheapest champion with the most expensive ability. For 3 elixir, you get a mini goofy guy that survives Fireball, and basically his trait is that after every 3 hits, he will boost his hit speed, and there are only 3 phases. For his ability, he will call his Guardian that dashes and pushes back anything meanwhile, and she has similar stats to a knight. And yeah, so you can use him either with another card, so the card can tank anything, but you can also use him to counter big tanks by making the Guardian soak up damage, because really that's her only purpose. Moving on to the last champion, the Goblinstein. So, for 5 elixir, you have two things that spawn at the same time. A little baby scientist that has an attack that stuns, and a big, mean goblin that targets buildings. So basically, the ability will make him make a link between him and the Goblinstein, and it's an electric thing that stuns on impact and keeps dealing continuous damage. And even if the Goblinstein dies, there will be a tiny little metallic pole that will stay there, so that electric chain will keep dealing damage. So he's an amazing push deleter, because the little electricity can kill almost any grouped up cards, and the best thing about this guy is that he's quite versatile. You can use him on almost any type of deck. And that should be it for the champions. They are quite late to unlock, you need quite the time, and they're only unlocked in champion chests, highest rarity, and each one has a specific deck in which it works. Some have an exception. For example, Mr. Mighty Miner with Log Bait, you have Archicon with Hockey Hue, Boss Bandit with pretty much anything, and yep, that's it. See you in the next one.